Welcome back. In this video we're going to find out what's going on with the Harpers, and before we head inside we'll break our party apart and head to camp to pick up Chihira.
Watching gods. But I never thought I would be happy to see the city again. Much less to smell it. The Harper Safehouse I spoke of is on the bridge at Worm's Crossing. Danthelon's dancing axe.
We'll ask her what she's looking to find.
Information. The Chosen have a head start on us. I'd like to know what they've done with it.
We'll ask how she's faring without the Harpers.
Think me lonely? In truth, I prefer travel in a small pack such as this. Unburdened by numbers, we're free to act, rather than react. A little like the old days. With allies, every bit as peculiar. Give or take a few tadpoles.
We'll ask about the old days.
Would you? In time, then. Perhaps once you found a rocking chair for me to doze off in.
We'll ask about her.
That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme.
We'll ask about the Dead Three.
It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And, bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder?
So Chihira likes it when we tease her back, because she's pretty funny, so we'll say that she's only one of those things.
Don't tell me which. Against all life experience, I will choose to assume the best.
And we'll ask her to join.
You'll need to free up your ranks a little first.
And we'll have Asterion bow out again.
At your command.
And she's heavily encumbered, so let's figure out what's going on with that. Oh, she's still got all the tanks from when we were fighting Ketheric, so we'll go ahead and send those to camp. That should solve that problem. And we'll leave. And we'll figure out where Alfira's elemental is. I think I forgot to pick it up. Yeah, it's still over here. They can't use waypoints, at least when they're on their own, so. Once it's close enough, it'll come on its own. All right, and we've got to decide who we would like to take into the Harper stronghold. We'll remove Gale from the party for now and send him back to camp. So this is just to keep our habit of not taking all of the characters into a dangerous situation so that if something bad happens, our game doesn't end. And we'll come up and head into the Harper Safehouse.
Welcome to Danthelon's dancing axe.
And we'll talk to Intharl.
Greetings, sir. Your noble bearing brings a little class to my humble...
You can turn off the charm, Entharl. She's with me.
Blueberries. Thought I had a sale. You look tired, Harper.
I missed you too. They're already here?
Down below. Here's the key.
And we're going to click on the trade option. If we ask to trade, Jaheira will be insistent that we head down, but if we just click the button, that won't happen. And we can see what he's got here. So he's got some more bombs we can pick up. He's got cold damage for monks, gloves that add +1 to attack, this cloak of displacement, which is really good, so it gives you disadvantage. It gives opponents disadvantage to hit you until we take damage. So if we have a good armor class, that's the whole fight. He's a bunch of heavier armors, an item for a barbarian. We probably won't end up buying that. A bow that will slow on crits. And if we attack dwarves or gnomes, that's probably not going to happen very often. He's also got some explosive arrows if we want to buy those, and some potions, Oil of Bane, some see invisibility, and arrows of multi-target. So for right now, all we're interested in is the displacement cloak and some more bombs. And I think it's funny, so we'll say that we're pleased to meet him and address him as a Harper.
You seem a nice sort, so I'll assume the insult was accidental.
And Farrell's no Harper, and claims no love for those who are. But he's been known to shelter us when we need it.
Entarl has been known to charge rent. Harpers have been known to ignore him. Now go on. The short father may send me an actual paying customer today.
And we'll leave.
Right, Sommy.
Before we go down and get to a fight, let's take a look at our spell selection on Jaheira, just to make sure that we've got what we want. We're going to want Insect Plague. The rest, not really important.
Going.
So we've got the rusty key the proprietor gave us. We're going to run down and click on the ladder. And once everybody's down, this is a newer issue in the game where you have to wait for people to run ladders. It used to be that people would all be on a ladder at once, and now it's like a one person on a ladder at a time. So health and safety is big deal here in Baldur's Gate. So we're going to run up and inject ourselves into this conversation.
Hi, Harper. May Seluna's tears shine on this meeting.
A very formal greeting, Geraldus. You are well?
Yes. Hi, Harper. Standing beneath Seluna's tears.
The lad's a little nervous, Jaheira. We heard of your great victory against Ketheric.
Geraldus isn't nervous. He's terrified. And he's using Seluna's tears as some kind of code.
I understand, Geraldus. Take a moment. And you, Harper. There is something familiar about you. Something singular. Absolute, wouldn't you say?
Absolute. Jaheira seems to believe that all is not right with these Harpers. That they're somehow connected to the cult.
So what she says is different depending on if you have met Marcus or not, and regardless of whether or not we noticed it, what we want to do is remain silent and wait for Jaheira's signal.
My friend and I have experience with your kind, you see. The problem... we didn't end on the best of terms.
So we get a surprise round if we wait for Jaheira.
This is the
And we'll click on her, and what we're going to do is we're going to cast Insect Plague, and we can position that so that we can hit this guy even up on top. So when we see that they're all selected and that we're not hitting Harper Geraldus, then that's where we're going to want to use it, so we can get everybody here without hitting him. If we have the option, we can even give a little space so that they can run around and reposition. So this looks pretty good. We'll drop it. And you can see they took a bunch of damage, and they have this insect plague condition. So their movement speed is halved, they have disadvantage on perception checks, and they're taking damage per turn. So while we're maintaining that effect, we'll just go ahead and run off to where they can't easily shoot us.
Nothing will stand in my way.
And we've got some trouble hitting these folks, right? So they have that mind reader ability, which tells us that they're doppelgangers. We can take a look and see if we can hit them in a glyph of warding. Do a little bit of damage. We have an offhand attack. We'll just take a shot, and if we're lucky, we'll hit. And we got lucky. We'll switch back to our hand-to-hand weapons just in case they rush us. And here we have an opportunity for Lizelle to just really open up with our new legendary weapon. So we'll throw, and even with disadvantage, we still have like a 90% chance to hit. And you see this thing just crushes. All right. Our Harper friend will take a couple of shots. Really getting it done. Super impressive. And we'll have our fire elemental go. We surprised them. And that's it for the round. Let's swap back to Jaheira and stop concentrating on the plague before this guy takes too much damage. He has a habit of standing back in it again, and we'll go talk to him.
Did I get it right?
Seluna's tears. It is said no false face can stand beneath their light. An old code, Harper. But yes, you got it right. Now I need your report.
We had eyes on suspected cultists in the city, like you asked. We thought we were tracking them, but...
They were tracking you instead, evidently. Doppelgangers.
And they're not just working with the cult, High Harper. They're part of it. Ballists, I think.
Answering to Orin the Red, then. Go on.
Everything seemed fine, until your latest orders. Until we started to search for the Rashomar. They struck the same night. I woke to one of them strangling Chelvin, while smiling at me out of her face. She said... It said... that I'd report back to you as normal. Lure you here, and... I had no choice!
I'm sure it felt that way, Geraldus. The others were likely dragged back to Orin. Tortured. Sacrificed. I do not expect you to die for me. But to risk Entharl, any citizen who might have wandered in, there is always a choice. And the Harper must be able to make the hard ones. Perhaps this isn't the life for you after all, Geraldus.
No, Jaheira! High Harper, please! I'm still a Harper. I want to help.
You've scarcely signed up, boy. And there is a war coming. Why die a Harper, when you could still live as anything else?
And we'll point out that she doesn't get to fire people from a voluntary, heroic organization.
I want to fight. For Kelvin. For all of them. So it means something.
Death is death. To look for meaning in it is foolishness, boy. Childish storybook nonsense. Exactly the kind that Harper would spout, I suppose. Fine. I have no right to make the choice for you. Not when this mess is of my making. I sent the Harpers hunting after the cult, without thinking what it would mean to be hunted in turn. Now they are compromised. And if not for you, I wouldn't even know it. I'm sorry, Geraldus. Harper. And I owe you an apology as well. I haven't told you everything I hope to learn here today. First, Geraldus, you're the last Harper in the city I can rely on. Lay low and rest while you can. I have matters to discuss with my friend here.
And though she doesn't have an exclamation mark, she does want to talk to us.
Lauren knows the hunt. In one stroke, she places the Harpers beyond our reach. Separates us from our pack. Until we know who the false facers are, we cannot trust anyone beyond ourselves.
And we'll point out, except the guy we just talked to.
Except Geraldus. It has been some time since anyone dared rap my knuckles like you did. No less than I deserve. I have not been overly generous with the truth. I came here to learn of the Chosen, true enough. But I set my Harper searching for someone else, too. Tell me, what do you know of a man named Minsk of Rashomon?
The name is as familiar as Jaheira's own. A hero of the time of troubles, who saved the city more than once.
He's a character recurring from Baldur's Gate 1 and Baldur's Gate 2. And since we're from Baldur's Gate, we will definitely say that we know who he is.
But few know of his fate, I think. I had hoped to keep it that way. Minsk is an old friend. Perhaps my oldest. We fought at one another's backs, times beyond counting. And the last time I saw him, I left him to die.
We'll say there's more to the story than that.
There always is. But that is still the fundamental fact of it. Before we ever heard of this Absolute, we received word of a gathering in the Undercity. What we found was the first dark seed of this plot. A circle of cultists with mind flayers in their midst. We might have ended it there, cut off at the root, but before I could send for help, Minsk charged in alone. It was chaos. He was overrun, dragged down beneath a mass of tentacles. I had a choice. Stay and let word of this cult die with us, or leave him and live to fight another day.
So we'll say that was a cruel choice.
The world takes much from those who presume to defend it. But sometimes, you get to take it back. So don't be sorry, because I mean to use you, if you're willing. Infection, indoctrination, eradication. That has been the fate of everyone the cult has captured so far. But it has not been yours. With your help, perhaps it need not be Minsk's either.
So we'll just say, sounds good, we're going to go rescue a hero.
As simply as that? For no other reason than that I asked? Perhaps you two will get along. Oh, the point is moot without a means to find him. Without the Harpers, we shall have to find another path. I'll have a better idea of what that is once we're through the gates. Seems I need to reacquaint myself with this damned city.
All right, while we're down here, we'll grab this explosive barrel. And we'll send that to camp. And there's a couple of chests that we can loot if we want to. There's one up here as well, a little out of sight. But it can help to show off the terrain that we're here. So when we came out of the Doppelganger Cave that was down over here, there's an area over here where there's some folks from the Thieves Guild and a competitive guild, the Stone Lords guys, which are working for the Absolute, that are over here. And way over here we can actually see one of the ships from Moonrise that was sailing off with all the stuff around it, and there's a bunch of tadpoles and stuff on there. That's how they've been getting them into the city. Well, we also would find out that there's a bunch of crates with the Zentarium logos on them, so the Zents are involved in shipping the tadpoles. Here, we see this door is locked. So we'll come out the front door here. If we needed to sneak into this area to talk to the Harpers, that's a way to do it. We can jump down onto this platform from above and sneak through the door. Alright, so coming up to the next floor, we're going to talk to Stylen Horst, who's a vendor.
Now here's someone who appreciates. Stop. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Now you've just sampled some of Baldur's Gate's finest incense. Delicious, no?
We'll say that it's glorious.
Aren't they just? You clearly have excellent taste. What can I do for you, sir?
And we'll trade with him.
Everything alchemical from potions to poisons. Just do make sure you read the label before quaffing. Hmm?
So he carries all kinds of stock. He's got some bombs. We want the Elixir of Cloud Giant Strength. This Elixir of Battle Mage's Power, fantastic. Get that anytime we see it. And we also need to be able to make an essence. So we're going to look for any of these that will form an essence. And we see that the Nightlight Frond combine 3 to extract their essence. So that's how many we want. And that's a component of a quest inside of the lower city. So it's the one bit of alchemy that we'll be doing here. We can also buy healing potions or anything else that he happens to have that you want.
Be sure to savor each purchase.
Here goes nothing.
And we're going to open this door. And we'll step out. And we're looking over this gate, and there's guards guarding in. The drawbridge is up, but we need to get in there. So we're going to end the video here, and in the next one, we'll do just that. I will see you there. Thanks for watching. Bye.